Hi, YouTube. This is EJ Plymouth, formerly known as Problematic Boy, doing a second recording of a drunk. Okay, yeah, I guess spoiler alert, I'm drunk. Ramble that I did, let's see, about 15 minutes ago. I was cut short by my cat, and I was also articulating things and thought I could do it a little bit better. And I also was a little bit too loud into the mic. I'm trying to speak directly into the mic. It is definitely a lot better, but there were some moments where I broke. Uh, I broke calm and got a little too loud. But that's okay. Yeah. So I'm inebriated. I think that's the second time I've mentioned that. Maybe the third if you count the time after the first. And I don't edit. And as I said in my first recording, which you're not gonna hear, scripts are bourgeois decadence, and I just wanted to chat here, and I think I got to sort of the cusp during my first recording of what I wanted to say, which is, I guess the thesis is we cannot allow, as if you're, in the U.S. like me, we can't allow Gavin Newsom to become the nominee for the Democratic Party in 2028. It can't happen. We can't allow it to happen. If there is an election, assuming that, the current president doesn't just pause the midterms and then suddenly all future elections are called off, including the midterms, and we get a presidential cycle, we can't let Newsom be the nominee. And partially because I saw a poll today. Now I want to be clear about the poll. I'm sure if you're plugged in, you saw the poll. This is like a fairly common thing where we're like years away from the race, and it's mostly name recognition. And Newsom's of course been very online and putting himself out there. And even in the case of the most recent, I guess, high profile race, which was New York City, Zoran was polling at like 4 or 5% at one point, with Cuomo at like 40 or 50 before he started getting traction. So it's not necessarily an indicator. I just thought I would like get ahead of it and say this ain't happening. Oops, I broke. Sorry. I did it again. This ain't happening. It absolutely cannot be allowed to have Gavin Newsom as the fucking nominee. I don't know. I'm sure there must be Gavin Fedayeen or people who only know Gavin angling for the nomination, or that's who they want. This can't happen. If it happens, in a sense, the country's already done. But if Gavin Newsom is the Democratic nominee, it is super over. And by that I mean it's completely over. Newsom as the nominee is like the official is like the official mark point where we are fully fascist, like 100%, and not just like 95%. Like we've crossed some sort of threshold where we've gone from a democracy on the brink, or like I guess a democracy that's not really a democracy, but maybe has a chance to reclaim itself, which is, what I'd like to think we, if not now, we were like 6 months ago. It's just completely gone at that point. It's literally, I cannot say how necessary it is that Newsom does not become the Democratic nominee, and how important it is that at least AOC, it has to be AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, has to be the nominee in 2028, or it's some completely unknown person that's just going to pop up that is, good on everything and actually has like, just as good and better policy than AOC, because there's nobody else. And it absolutely can't. Newsom is the disaster scenario. If you think things are bad right now, I'm talking to people who might actually be thinking about Newsom. If you think things are bad right now, I mean, Newsom is the same strain of Democrat, the same fucking type of person, the same type of politician that is the reason that Trump is doing what he's doing now. That Trump exists, that Trump has support. I mean, it's just that same kind of, you know, ineffective, not doing anything that you actually need to do, cowardly, slavish to donors type attitude. That just repels people and either disengages them or turns them to, fascistic modes of expression or cope. Fascism kind of is just like mostly cope. It's a coping. It's the political ideology. It's just like pure cope. It's just full cope. That's what a Newsom type produces. Newsom and Kamala, they're the same person. When actually they're completely the same person. So if the Democratic Party and their base are capable somehow, and they don't get fifth column, because I think they at least need to be fifth column to get AOC in, which I think is a slim possibility that I have to hope for. If Newsom somehow just becomes the nominee, if he gets to be the nominee and we're doing a rerun of a Biden and a Kamala type person, then it's never been more over at that point. And I hope people get that. All right, I had a lot of other points in my original recording that I was just sort of rambling about. This one's a little bit more focused. But I think it's just like the most important message that I had. And like I said, the polls are not conclusive, obviously. AOC is polling, I guess, at like 4% right now, but I mean, like Zoran was explosive and had like pretty much the same polling at one point. So it's not necessarily conclusive. I just think that we really, as like, residents and citizens of this country, like, we cannot let Newsom be the nominee. We cannot, because, okay, let me say why. It literally is a Germany analogy. Try to put yourself in like Weimar, Germany, and think of like if there's just a chance to avoid the suicidal carnage of a fucking total war that is lashing out. Already we're lashing out at just anyone near us, Greenland, NATO allies. It could degenerate even further, and it will degenerate even further if we have a fuck like Newsom being the nominee. So just think like if there's anything that we can do to meaningfully avoid that, okay? Because Kamala wouldn't have meaningfully avoided that. She's basically caused it in her ineffectiveness and her like, dumbness and her deference to donors and her willingness to just be for them. And so that's just what's going to happen. We need to make sure that it doesn't happen. It can't happen, okay? Because World War II and I mean just like exactly what happened. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than I'm not going to give a whole history lesson here. I'm sure you can, be aware of it or look it up, but the brutality to your own people, the people living in your country, brutality, just the stupidity and the ignorance and just going after anyone, lashing everywhere, flailing as you crumble and your people die, and it's a nightmare. We have a chance to avert that nightmare, and I think that if we still do have a chance, maybe we don't. Maybe it's already too late. I'm gonna assume that that's not true, and and say that if there is a chance, it's completely over if Newsom becomes the nominee. Okay, don't let Gavin Newsom become the Democratic nominee. We can't do it. I'm going to try to do everything that I can. I think I should just go psycho over this. I think I am actually going to go psycho over this. I'm going to try to nip this completely in the bud and do everything that I can. All right. Anyways, thanks for watching. 10 minutes. Jesus Christ. Bye.